How often do you respond to emails while you're on a Zoom call? How many tabs do you have open in your computer or your mobile device right now? Are you doing anything else while you're watching this video? Do you take pride in your ability to multitask? Well, unfortunately, none of these are good for your long-term brain health. In fact, let me share with you some of the perils of multitasking. A Stanford University study revealed that regular multitasking makes it difficult for people to focus on a single task. Their studies show that multitasking results in goal-irrelevant information to compete with goal-relevant information in the brain. Let me explain what this means with an example. Remember I talked about earlier in one of the earlier videos about putting my phone on airplane mode when I'm writing. You know, as I said before, I write in 3-hour to 3.5-hour segments, and that allows my brain to still work away on the next paragraph or segue to the next chapter. But if I was to look at my emails or look at my text messages or check to see if I had any missed calls, what that would do is it would mean that my brain would start to focus on those tasks. And all of those are goal irrelevant information. I'm trying to write a book. I'm writing a draft or I'm editing. My only goal is working on the book. So anything else that comes to me, such as a text message or a voice message or anything like that, would be goal irrelevant information. And it starts to compete with goal relevant information in my brain. And in this case, the goal relevant information is things like, how did I finish the last paragraph? Is that the end of the chapter? How do I segue to the next chapter? What's going to be the next topic I want to be writing about? So all of those are goal relevant information. Also, this study was very revealing, and the results are quite clear and somewhat surprising, particularly on the second point. Daily multitasking makes a person less effective when multitasking. Well, that one we pretty much could have guessed at. But look at the second point. Daily multitasking also makes a person less effective when not multitasking. Because again, when we're multitasking, we're training our brain not to focus. So even when we're not multitasking, it means we have a trouble focusing and we're less effective when we're not multitasking. It also showed, the research showed, that we are less effective at prioritizing to achieve our goals. So all in all, that Stanford research study was quite powerful in showing that there's many perils, many errors, much harm we do ourselves when we're multitasking. Now, other research from other neuroscientists have shown that multitasking is detrimental to focus. That constant switching between phone calls and email and other tasks prevents the brain from focusing and engaging in deep problem-solving cognitive processing. It basically causes that brain fog that you feel when there's just too much going on in your brain, a feeling that some people call monkey brain. But importantly, and quite unfortunately, the inability to focus is one of the leading indicators of dementia. So basically, particularly our younger generation today, our millennials and those younger than millennials, but with all the multitasking that they're doing, and perhaps that you're doing, it's basically training your brain not to focus, which has some long-term personal as well as some societal impact, because that inability to focus is a leading indicator of dementia. Additionally, when you multitask, you literally reduce your intelligence level. A landmark study from York University in the United Kingdom showed that multitaskers scored a full 11% lower on a standard comprehension test than those not multitasking. Other research has shown that multitasking diminishes mental productivity, it elevates that brain fog we just talked about, and it increases mental stress. So if there's nothing else you take away from this episode, I hope you'll always remember this quote from Sandra Bond Chapman, who's the founder and chief director of the Center for Brain Health at the University of Texas, Dallas. And she says, multitasking is as toxic to the brain as smoking is to the lungs. Let me repeat that. Multitasking is as toxic to the brain as smoking is to the lungs. So please think about that the next time you're tempted to multitask. and realize that basically what you're doing to the brain is just what you could be doing to your lungs if you smoke. So in the next video, I'll share some research and tips for building and maintaining long-term brain health. Let's go check that video out now.